Hare Krishna, and welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita session. The topic for today's discussion is very interesting one. It is about food. It is about prasad. It is about bhoga that we can offer to Krishna. And we'll not only talk about what Krishna speak about this in Bhagavad Gita, but we will also take a look at a lot of questions around this topic that we might have or doubts that we might have. What to do, how to do, why to do, etc. All of those we will try and take a look at it. And in the process, hopefully, we'll end of this class. We should have good clarity. All 93 of us should have very good clarity as to uh, what is the significance of this one of the most important aspect of Krishna consciousness. So we'll start with this idea. So, so the theme that we are discussing right now, we are in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The chapter one, where Arjuna spoke predominantly, expresses a lot of doubts, and he present a case in front of Krishna why fighting was unnecessary, why he should not fight. He gave very elaborate reasons. Some of those reasons may help us, and may if we see this in isolation, we may feel that Arjuna is a real peace messenger, and ahimsa, he's propagating ahimsa, propagating real peace, and Krishna is the one who is inciting violence. He's he's forcing Arjuna to fight a war which he doesn't want to fight. It seems like that. And Krishna does not like his presentation. And he says, Kutotsva Kashmilamidam Vishme Samupasthitam. From where all these impurities have come upon you, O Arjuna. He's not saying, Arjuna, you have become impure, or you have become coward, or you are trying to run away from the battlefield. On the battlefield, you are lecturing about peace. It does not fit your character. This will bring you infamy. This is not who you are. What happened to you? Why are you talking like this? So you're not afraid of death, you are not afraid of fighting, you are capable fighter, you are the most formidable fighter in this era. Nobody can defeat you, and you are the one who is speaking like this, Kutatswa. And then he says you're speaking pandita, you are speaking like a pandita, but you are actually speaking, doing something, speaking something foolish. So very harsh comment. And then to top of it, Krishna says that Klaibamya Asmagama Partha. Have you become important? Why are you trying to run away? We saw that biggest mistake that a soldier on the battlefield can commit. One is become a traitor, go and fight from the opposite side. And second is deserter. Deserter means he does not fight from the side of the opposition, but he failed. He refused to do his own duty as well. And in the battlefield, you are dependent. Everyone is dependent on each other. So everyone is expected to carry out orders given to them. And if they fail to do so, it can harm the whole unit in a miserable way. So both are considered to be very, very big offenses. And so if you become scared of death, if you become cowardly, if you overcome by cowardly emotions, you will talk all this nonsense and you will try to run away from the battlefield. And that will bring big infamy to you and to your character. So Arjuna, Krishna is warning Arjuna from becoming like that. So, having said that, Arjuna's doubts were also valid, and by Krishna's arrangements, only Arjuna was asking these questions, and Krishna take this opportunity to elaborately explain the Atma Tattva. The Atma Tattva is the real identity. Explaining give explanation for the real identity of people. He attacks Arjuna's strongest argument of Arjuna was, why should I kill? Why should I kill my relatives, my friends, my family members, my elders, my gurus, my pitamahas? Why am I supposed to kill them? Why should I kill? And then Krishna counters this biggest argument by explaining the concept of soul to Arjuna, reintroducing. Now he spoke elaborately as to how this soul is eternal, and what are the different wonderful characteristics of this soul. And so the soul, even if you want, you cannot kill a soul, and even if you want, you cannot save a body is just like a dress of a human, of the living entity, which is supposed to get dropped at some point of time in our life. We will be forced to give up this dress one day, at one moment. So jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. That your whoever has taken birth is sure to die, and anyone who meets his death is sure to take accept another body. न हन्यते हन्य माने शरीरे. But that element which is there inside you, who is driving this body, who is actually the driver of this vehicle of body, that will not get impacted, that will not get hurt, harm in any way when the body will get destroyed. That is ajanma. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano. That is this nature of this soul. So, who has never taken a birth and will not take birth, and there is no death for the soul. So, why are you worried? Then Arjuna says, the primary inquiry of Arjuna was, what should I do? Pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta. In a bewildered state of mind, I'm asking you, what is best for me? What is a shreyas, share for me. And then Krishna speak elaborately about various ways in which Arjuna can act. Arjuna can act at a karma kind level. Arjuna can also act at a nishkam karma yoga level. Nishkam karma yoga or devotional service, as Prabhupada translate that as a devotional service. That Neha Bhikra Mana Nashosti. Nashosti. There is no destruction for that devotional service. Even if you perform a swalpam, api asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. That small devotional service of also, even if you perform, that will remain with you permanently. It will give you permanent results. On the contrary, in this material world, no matter how many degrees you get, no matter how much money you earn, no matter how famous you try to become, no matter how much knowledgeable you try to become, it will all end with the body. It will all end. For many people, it might end even before the end of this body also. People suffer from all kind of diseases like Alzheimer and short-term memory loss, and so they forget their own children, what to speak of all these glories. But so it can end. It's all temporary. So Arjuna, Krishna is saying, you differentiate between what is temporary, what is permanent, and work on the permanent, or work on that aspect which is permanent. While you are here in this world, you will have to do something for maintaining your temporary body, but your primary focus should be to work on what is permanent. And that is how the Nishkam Karma Yoga was explained. And then for that, you'll have to gain good amount of control on your mind. Your senses should be controlled by your mind, and mind should be under the control of your intelligence. And intelligence should be directed by the desires, correct desires expressed by the soul. Now that is the hierarchy. And if you are Jitendriya, if you are Manishina, you have control over your mind, then you can then Janma Bindha Vinur Mukta. Janma Bandha Vinur Mukta also is possible. You can escape from the cycle of your repeated birth and repeated death also. If you gain control over your intelligence, then mind, and then the senses, and then direct activities, perform activities in such a way that is guided by the scriptures, then you will not have to take birth again, O Arjuna. Janma bandha vinur muktva. Then Arjuna asks, how is this possible? Tell me more about this person. I'm not like at that level. Then how can I go at that level? So tell me more. How can I What are the general symptoms of this person? Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava. Sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita prajeta kim. So, who is this person? How can I recognize him? How does he speak? How does he act? And how does he restrain when he's facing intimidating, tempting situations? And then, rest of the chapter 2, Krishna elaborates on that aspect of Sthita Pragya. Initially, he says he does not perform activities based on manogatan, concocted desires coming out of the concoction of the mind. Whatever mind proposes, he does not act like that. He has his mind under his control, senses under his control. And then Atmanye eva Atmana Tushta. He's become satisfied within himself. Dukheshvu anudvigna mana sukheshu vigata spruha. Dukheshvu anudvigna. Anudvigna is agitated mind. दुख होने से उसका mind agitate नहीं होता है. And sukheshu vigata spruha. When he doesn't get elated on cloud nine when he becomes happy, when something good happens to him. So in either of the situations, he remains steady. That is his speciality. And vitaraga bhaya krodha sthita dhir mundiruchate. And then he elaborately explains that how he controls senses. Just like a tortoise withdraw his senses, whenever the tortoise senses danger around him, near him, he withdraw his senses and brings them inside the shell. And then he's protected. That's how he protect himself from the vulnerabilities, dangers posed by the world. For a devotee, for a practicing devotee who wants to elevate himself to the sattva guna at least, who wants to rise above the tamoguni and rajasic activities and come to the sattva guni activities, who wants to live a decent, clean, decent life, clean, uh, clean clean life where he is doing all kind of sattvic activities only. He's truthful. He's trying to cultivate those sattvic gunas. And so he eats sattvic food, performs sattvic activities, perform puja, devotional service, chanting, hearing, and thereby he's trying to keep himself, raise himself away above the tamoguna and rajoguna. So that eventually he can come to the Shuddha Sattva or Parodharma. He can perform Parodharma. He can perform activities for purification of the self and pleasure of the God, pleasure of the Lord. Ultimately, that is Parodharma. So this is the process through which he's going through, and this is not possible unless you try to take control over your senses. If you remain bound by the senses, if you remain the kama kami, the desirer of the desires, if you keep fulfilling all the desires, proposals coming from your mind about the sensual enjoyments, you will never be able to rise above the tamoguna and rajoguna. So you'll never be able to come to sattva guna itself. So then there is no question of you transcending the sattva and going to shuddha sattva. So sense control is essential. Sense control is essential. We need to control senses, and Krishna gives various examples how these senses can be controlled, how these senses can be regulated. It is not a rasovarjam rasopyasya param drashtva nivartate. That that rasovarjam, that give up the senses. Unless you give positive engagement to your senses, they will not give up their lower enjoyments. So we need to know what those positive enjoyments are, and we need to provide senses with those inputs, and thereby they can then, once they get taste of those positive enjoyments, they will lose taste for the negative enjoyments. They will only lose. So there's no question of trying to artificially give up those things. They will give up those things, just like we give up we tag stool in the morning, we flush it, no attachment, like that. This can be given up, provided we are given taste to the higher, we are given that higher taste. And so that developing higher taste should become goal of our life, and that comes from the study of scriptures. From scriptural study we understand that such higher taste exists. Then association of devotees, when we associate with senior devotees, we see practically how they relish performing duty, devotional service, and different angas of devotional service. Some may we know pujaris who spend lifetime in doing deity seva. They get so attached to their deities, those deities in temple, that they the whole life they just do that only. Morning 3:30, 3 o'clock till night 9:30. They have no other business. They have no other occupation. They have no other liking. They and their deities. And they cook bhogas for the deities, they stitch dresses for the deities, they dress the deities, they bathe the deities, they perform abhishek, they take care of the deities, they take care of the altar, they clean the everything, the paraphernalia, they clean the utensil, they clean the kitchen, they cook the bhoga, they offer bhoga, they distribute bhoga, they and their deities. They're so attached to their deity, that devotional service. So this is something that can be learned. Extremely purifying seva. Extremely purifying. We are constantly in touch with deities, constantly in touch with Krishna himself in person. Um, Extremely purifying. Some are attached, some can be some devotees may have very good taste for doing nam sankirtan, singing in the kirtan, playing various instruments, and very attractive way in which they can come up with various tunes of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And they can people can get lost, they can just forget their existence while singing and dancing in those beautiful kirtans. Some may have taste for reading scriptures, understanding and analyzing scriptures. Some may have taste for chanting verses, like we did. We met at 10:30 today, and we chanted verses, 25 verses from chapter one. So some people, some devotees are very advanced, and they just chant verses every now and then, and they have, for every situation they have a verse. For every situation in their life, they will come up with a verse, and so much absorption they experience while chanting those verses. That's so beautiful. So and so forth. So there is higher taste that is available. We need to know it exists. We need to know who are enjoying currently that higher taste, and then by associating with those people, by engaging ourselves in those activities, we will get access to that higher taste. And once we get access to that higher taste, the giving up lower taste becomes as easy as giving up our stool in the morning, flushing away our stool in the morning. It becomes as easy as that. So this is where we were in the end of last chapter, second chapter. And Krishna says that if you maintain this kind of a consciousness at the end, then you will become eligible to enter the kingdom of God. You will become, you can go back to God. So Arjuna is wondering whether such person will ever fight. Now, what Krishna has described him is not a person who is a warrior. Apparently, he's not look like a warrior. He doesn't look like a warrior. So, will such person fight? And then, therefore, at the beginning of this section, this chapter, Arjuna again asks a question that, do you really want me to fight? What you have described me, it doesn't look like fit a description of a warrior. So Arjuna gets confused and asks these two questions to Krishna, and Krishna responds starting from the third verse. And Krishna explains that you're oversimplifying thing, oh Arjuna. You're oversimplifying everything. It's not that simple. Just because you're thinking that if you're attached to sense enjoyment, you will act, and if you're detached, you will give up the action. Things are not that simple in real life. We have all kind of varieties. People, of course, more majority of the people will, if they are attached to the sense enjoyment, if they are attached to their family, they will act. They will try to do their best to get those sense pleasures. But there are people in the society who pretend that they are renounced, but they continue to secretly cultivate their desires. And whenever they get opportunity, they try to fulfill those desires. So they are pretenders, they are mithyacharis, vimudhatva. And so those people who apparently try to renounce, prima facie they try to renounce, but inside their heart they want all those sense desires. Now these are dangerous people, and without sufficient purification of mind, one should not try to renounce. One should not try to accept renounce order of life. And so that process is not very easy. You need reasonable mind control. You need complete sense control, mind control, and intelligence should be under your control in order to be able to act in that renounce order of life. Otherwise, fall down is just around the corner. That can happen anytime. So Arjuna is now to eliminate his other doubts also, that he's saying that even for a moment nobody can prevent himself from doing something. And we saw that we are constantly doing actions. We are constantly doing actions either voluntarily or involuntarily, but actions are constantly happening. So if I'm supposed to act, what is the best way to act? Yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya tad artham karma kaunteya. Therefore, how should one work? What is the best best way to work is work as an offering to Vishnu. Work as a sacrifice. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu is the best type of work, and that has to be performed. Otherwise, work will cause bondage in the material world. Work done, and we discussed this with example of a person or three people who are trying to shop in the mall. One person tried to shop and run away with the stuff, food stuff. He is caught and punished heavily. The other person is trying to shop, but trying to shop as per whatever, to the extent he has money he is trying to shop. He is probably in the sattva guna, but the problem with this is, as his money is getting over, he has forced to go back and earn more money so that he can come back to that store again. And the third person is actually shopping on behalf of, for offering it to the owner of the store. Now he, when he comes to the cash counter, he is allowed to walk away with all kind of food stuff that he has put in his cart. Why? Because it's going for the consumption of the owner of the store. It's going for the personal drawing for the owner of the store. The owner owns everything, so he can draw everything from his sources. He has unlimited money, unlimited resources. So he's everything belongs to him. So whatever is taken for his offering does not have to go through the cash counter. So this person walks away without offering, without paying anything. So similarly, when the activities are directed towards Vishnu or Krishna, who is the owner, maintainer, and controller of this entire creation, those activities do not cause bondage. But everything which implies that everything else can cause bondage. What else we can do? Actions performed for our own satisfaction, our satisfaction of our own family members. Without, it's about motive. Now it's a very subtle, in one sense, because the motive is not what people see. Action is what people see. You will be seen as going to office every day and working. Now, what consciousness you are working with, that is not seen. No, that could be two neighbors, two people living next to each other, and both may go to office and come back in the evening. And both may have a family and they must be trying to maintain their family. But one is a devotee who is considering family members as the gift given by Krishna in his custody, and he's trying to maintain them, so that he's trying to provide them with an environment where they can practice Krishna consciousness and become nice devotees and ultimately go back to Krishna. And the second person is considering his wife to be his wife, his children to be his children, his parents to be his parents at a bodily level, and trying to cultivate, trying to maintain them as per their capacity. Now, both are doing similar activities, but both are doing it differently. And the second person who is thinking, she is my wife, he is my child, he is my father, and he is my mother, she is my mother. He's acting at a bodily level, and all his efforts are directed for the satisfaction of those bodies. And all of those actions are causing him um, karma bandha, karma bandha. That lokoyam karma bandhana. Now those actions are bound, are binding actions. So if you shop for your own self, then you are supposed to pay. You are supposed to pay the price and take only what you can afford. You cannot get anything more. And that is the karma bandhana. Tad artham karma konte ya nukta sangha samachara. So if you perform duties, all our actions are directed to Vishnu alone, then you will always remain free from bondage. We saw the sacrifice means every giving up something which we can lawfully enjoy, giving up something not because it is distasteful today, not because we give up something because we have something higher in mind. Giving up a 5 rupee note when you know you will get 50 lakh is a 5 rupee loss, but you have bigger picture in mind, you have bigger things in mind, and that way this is wise thing to do. Sacrifice is good. That initial stage, the sacrifice is good. If you get too much caught up in protecting the 5 rupee, you will never be able to get access to those 50 lakh rupees. So sacrifice is done for a higher purpose. There has to be a purpose for which a sacrifice is done, and that purpose has to be valid, has to be prescribed by the scripture. So yagya purush, aham hi sarva yagyana bhokta cha prabhu revacha. Krishna says in the ninth chapter, in the fifth chapter also, he says that bhoktaram yajna tapasa sarva loko maheshwara. So Krishna says all the yagyas, all the sacrifices, all the penances, I am the enjoyer, I am the ultimate enjoyer. And then Krishna comes to this point where he's explaining that how at the beginning of everything, how everything happened from the beginning. So, in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yagya sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So living happily के बाद full stop नहीं है. There is no full stop after living happily. There is a and written. And means something more. So living happily can be a goal, but should not be the only goal of life. Achieving liberation. So when you should know that you are bound, who will try to liberate? The one who understand that they are bound. And where we are bound? We are bound inside our bodies. We are bound inside the repeated birth and repeated death that we will eventually witness. So we've been born, which means we died earlier in our previous life, and having accepted this body, we will give up this body, which the event everyone call it as death. That is also sure to come, and in between this there will be old age and disease. They're just waiting. Old age is not waiting, actually. With every passing moment we are becoming older. We may be 20-year-old today, but we will become 21 eventually, and so on and so forth. So nobody can stop the clock ticking, and by every second, by every minute, every hour, every day, we are coming closer to our death. So one has to understand, one should be intelligent enough to understand that they are bound. What is bound? Or what is a bondage? Nobody wants it. And still everyone is forced to accept it. Now that is bondage. So this bondage exists for everyone. Our lives, happinesses, and distress may vary. Some of us may lead a very comfortable life, and practically the distress might be missing. We may have reasonable amount of money, reasonable amount of savings. We may have loving people all around us who take care of us very nicely. We take care of them nicely. There's nice reciprocal family life that we might be enjoying today. Very comfortable. At the same time, but these four things are, we are not able to escape these four things. We still have janma, we still have old age, we still have diseases, and we will still have death. Our family life cannot go on forever. Even if there seems to be no problem in our life today, it's just about time when those problems will pop up, when the diseases will catch up, when the old age will start showing its sign beyond our anti-aging creams and whatever the surgeries we might perform to look young, whatever whichever chemicals we may apply to color our hairs. It doesn't matter. Eventually, it will all show up, and then it will show the face of that old age will pop up, and then it can be very depressing because all our life we fought against it. No, I don't want to become old. I want to become look like young. I want to act like young, and so on and so forth. So, same goes for diseases. People try to lead extremely careful life. They they sacrifice on so many things so that they can always remain happy, they can always remain healthy, but eventually they also get caught by diseases, and they get very surprised. How can this happen to me? I've never done this, and I see so many people doing that, and they don't get that disease. And how come I have got this disease? And people just get bewildered and just get just fail to come to terms that they have it, and they are shocked. So it's just a matter of time that these things will come up. So we don't have to worry. Eventually, they will come up, and that's why we need to understand that we are bound, and we need liberation. And how to liberate is given in Bhagavad Gita. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Shiksha. Chant Krishna's name, Bhajo Krishna, worship Krishna, and Karo Krishna Shiksha. Do as he has said in Bhagavad Gita. Whatever instruction he has given, follow those. Because he knows the way out of this jungle, this Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam, this Davagni, which is like a forest fire. We are caught up inside this forest fire, and he knows the way because he's the one who has created this forest fire. So only he can satisfy that forest fire. So liberation is most important aspect of our life. So living happily and achieving liberation. So both are critical. How will this happen? The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign on for all. The prosperity comes at a cost of sacrifices, at least to the demigods. If we give sacrifices, if we make our offerings to Krishna, that is the best, but at least we should give it to demigods. Why? Because we will see in this verse also why that is, because of our dependence on them for the supply of ingredients which are essential for our livings. And if they don't give that, there's no chance for us to live, to us to survive, and hence we should be willingly making those sacrifices, at least to the demigod, at least to demigods, if not to Krishna. If we can give it to Krishna, that is best. But if we cannot for any reason, at least we should give it to the demigods. You can, yeah, need not raise hand now. We will have question answer session towards the end. And you can write down your questions if you have any, but it will be wonderful if we continue. We have a lot to cover again, as we've done spent a lot of time on our revision of Bhagavad Gita till chapter 1 till date, till now, and now we are progressing. We are going further. We'll discuss today 12th and 13th verses, and then we will study some parts from book by written by Srila Prabhupada, couple of books in fact written by Srila Prabhupada, and we will discuss some questions around these paragraphs that we will study. Ishtan bhogan hivo deva dasyante yajna bhavitaha तैर्दत्तान अप्रदायेभ्यो यो भुंते स्तेन एव सह. Stena is thief. Stena is chor. Chor, thief, daku. That's a stena. Stena eva saha. Krishna is referring somebody as a thief. Certainly a thief. Now, who is this thief? Let's see what Krishna is saying. In charge of various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna sacrifice, will supply all necessities to you. Being in charge of various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, will supply all necessities to you. So you cannot demand, they will supply. They are in charge of all those supplies. The supply chain is controlled by them. You may feel that you deserve it, or you may desire it, deserve it. You may feel you deserve it, you are entitled to it, and so on and so forth, but you have no control over it. If they choose not to give, you have no alternative but to suffer. You may give galis, you may give or use all kind of bad words, but you will just have to suffer. That will just increase your suffering, but you cannot do much about it. If rain doesn't come and the rivers dry up, you will you will suffer. You will suffer. There's no question of um, you not suffering. So and similarly, if the flood comes, you will again suffer. So so one should understand that we are being controlled. Not we are in control. We are not in control, but we are being controlled. Controlled by demigods who control us on behalf of Supreme Lord. So demigods also are employees. Employees are employed by Supreme Lord, engaged by Supreme Lord to manage the universal affairs, not because he he needs assistance, not because he cannot do everything on his own, not because he's weak, he has problems which others are coming and helping him resolve. He engage others because they want to be engaged, because they have a desire to lovingly serve Lord, and using their propensities individually, Krishna engages them in their his service. So this is service that people want to perform. These demigods, devatas wants to perform. It's not that Krishna needs the service, but Krishna creates the need because the other demigods wants to serve. And this is his nature, this is his greatness. This is he's not he becomes son of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj because they want Krishna as their son. Then he becomes son, he gets scared, he feel hungry because Yashoda Maya has so much milk, has so much affection that she wants to feed Krishna all the time. So Krishna must become hungry in order for she to get the satisfaction that I have fed Krishna with my breast milk, I have fed Krishna with swadishta vyanjan that I have cooked for him. But if Krishna says, I am Atma Ram, I am self satisfied, I don't need any food, in fact, I am the one who is giving you food, I am Supreme Lord, then there is no satisfaction. How can Yashoda Maya, how can a mother get motherly pleasure, motherly satisfaction unless she feeds a child? Greatest pleasure, greatest satisfaction for a mother is when she feeds her child to the full and then he lovingly eats everything that is cooked by her mother or his mother. So that is the highest satisfaction the mother can relish. And in order for Yashoda Maya to relish that, Kanhaiya had to feel hungry, and then he becomes angry, hungry, breaks the pots, and then gets punished. Now, mothers wants to also discipline their child. They like doing it. They love doing it. They expect a child to be naughty, and at times they will teach them a lesson or two from. And Supreme Lord being all knowledgeable, how who will teach him what? So but he has to do something. that can help mother also give some lessons to him about how to behave, how to not break pots, how to not trouble your villagers, how to respect elderly ladies. So Maya T taught him all of this. And Krishna learned. Krishna showed with all his innocence, he learned everything. He learned from his Baba how to take care of cows. He used to he used to he used to get scared when he used to hear thundering of the cloud at night and the lightning. He used to get scared, and Baba, he used to go run to his Baba and jump on his body and hold him very, very tightly. And Baba used to say, "Don't worry, I am there, I am here." And then he used to put him into sleep. So uh, Krishna's Krishna doesn't need our service. But seeing our eagerness to serve him, he creates opportunity for us to serve him. And at times by taking a lower position, by acting as if he needs the service, acting as if he's in without Maya, how can I survive? Without Maya, who will discipline me otherwise? As if he makes that service uh, he creates the need for the service, and then his devotees are engaged in those services and they feel satisfied. Krishna feels satisfied. So at times Krishna even take a lower position so that devotees can render nice services to him. So demigods are serving because they want to serve, they are eager to serve, they want to serve, do something for Krishna, and therefore Krishna engages them in his service. Prabhupada writes in the purport that one should know, however, that all the necessities of life that the human society requires are supplied by the demigods, agents of the Lord. No one can manufacture anything. Take, for example, all the edibles of human society. These eatables include grains, fruit, vegetables, milk, sugar, etc. for the persons in the mode of goodness, and also the edibles for the non-vegetarians like meat, none of which can be manufactured by men. This is very significant statement. We talk about modernization, we talk about all the time how cities are important, how cities are progressing, how villages should be turned into cities, and so many villages now have been turned to cities. Bikaner can become Boston, and so on and so forth. So a lot of such dreams were shown to the people. But what is happening in the process? By making cities, we are just killing our agriculture. By setting up big factories for deodorants and soap, bathing soaps and hair shampoos and hair creams, end of the day we feel hungry, and none of those factories can even manufacture a grain of rice or grain of wheat on its own without using sources from the nature. So, so we are completely dependent on nature, and we are hell bent to kill that nature today by various means. So Prabhupada writes that, bringing out that point very prominently, that you are dependent on the nature for your survival. And no matter how great manufacturing plants you set up, or call centers, or KPOs, or banks, fancy bank that you set up, all of those people, lakhs of people who are working there, also will feel hungry end of the day. And then they cannot eat nut bolts. They need grains, they need food, they need the food which is coming from the agriculture only. So we cannot kill agriculture and then hope that we will survive forever. Just not possible. We're just creating imbalance, and that will cost us very, very dearly in time to come. So Prabhupada writes, then again, take example of heat, light, water, air, etc., which are also necessities of life. None of them can be manufactured by the human society. Without the Supreme Lord, there can be no profuse sunlight, moonlight, rainfall, breeze, etc., without which no one can live. Obviously, our life is dependent on the supplies from the Lord. Supplies from the Lord, which is arranged by the agents of the Lord, who are the demigods. And therefore, the demigod sacrifice was recommended in the Vedas. Prabhupada writes further that even for our manufacturing enterprises. Now, even manufacturing enterprises, they required a lot of raw materials, and raw materials, majority of the raw material come from the nature again. Like cotton comes from the nature, and that can be then converted into cloth. Metal comes, sulfur, mercury, manganese, etc. So many essential. Oil comes from the nature. We can just fight over oil, but we cannot manufacture oil. We just have to depend on the stock which are there inside the earth, which is again provided by the nature. And then we can keep fighting for lording it over the material resources. The term is fit for oil wells and oil industry. Everybody try to dominate each other to get our indefinite, unlimited supply of oil that at cheap rates. That is the goal of their life. So that oil is also not manufactured by anyone. It is just taken, is supplied by Lord and taken by the people on their of their own. So all of which are supplied by the agents of the Lord with the purpose that why they what is the purpose of these supplies? The purpose is that we should make proper use of them to keep ourselves fit and healthy for the purpose of self-realization, leading to the ultimate goal of life, namely liberation from the material struggle of existence. So, what is the whole program? Live happily and liberate, achieve liberation. And before that, self realization that I am bound. I am bound, therefore, I need to be liberated. I am bound by what? I am bound by the cycle of repeated death and repeated birth. Now, all these realizations must come to us, and the self realization can only lead to effort for liberation. If one is, and self realization comes from the study of scriptures. When we read Bhagavad Gita daily, when we talk to devotees, then we, with their help, by reading Bhagavad Gita, we can come to know that we are actually bound. We are not free. We may appear to be free, but we are all bound, and therefore we should try to liberate. The aim of life is attained by performance of yajnas. Yajnas, if we forget the purpose of human life and simply take supplies from the agent of the Lord for sense gratification and become more and more entangled in the material existence, which is not the purpose of creation, certainly we become thieves, and therefore we are punished by the laws of material nature. So one is we are taking something which is without which doesn't belong to us. Okay, we are taking it without offering. What is expected? At least make a offering, make some kind of a sacrifice, make a gesture to the demigods. At least thank them before taking your quota of for the purpose of survival, for purpose of your sense gratification. But if you draw everything, extract everything from nature for your own sense enjoyment, without offering anything back, without offering any sacrifice to the demigods, those who are supplying, then Prabhupada writes, then such people are called thieves. They become thieves. This is exactly what thieves do. And therefore they are punished by the laws of material nature. A society of thieves can never be happy because they have no aim in life. A society of thieves can never be happy because they have no aim in life. The gross materialist thieves have no ultimate goal of life. They are simply directed to sense gratification, nor do they have any knowledge of how to perform yajnas. So this is our state. This is the state of most of the people. The gross materialist thieves have no ultimate goal. Most of the people in, if you run through uh, your mobile contact list and post this question to 100 people randomly, what is the goal of life? Very few will respond saying that I want to escape from the, I want to end the cycle of repeated birth and repeated death by going back to Krishna. Very few, if and but what will be the majority of the response? That will that will be received, enjoy. Enjoy your life. Don't take it too seriously. Enjoy how whatever the best you can, and don't get bored. Do do dare to live your life. Do all that what you think you should do, so that there are no regrets. Will be various philosophies by which people live their life, and so all of that, none of that is based on scriptures. All of that is based on mental concoction. This is how I feel I should live the life, and everybody should live life. I'm not only trying to live my life, I'm trying to encourage others also to live their life using my philosophy. What basis I have formed my philosophy on? No basis. Because this is what I feel. What value do I have? What value do I have? I can't control even urges of my senses. I have all kind of imperfect senses. So whatever knowledge I might have had received is also faulty, and whatever conclusions I would have drawn are also faulty. So what credibility do I have to get to showcase my knowledge? I should simply be dependent on Bhagavad Gita for knowledge, and then using that knowledge I should perform yajnas. If Bhagavad Gita recommend us to offer whatever we eat, we should offer whatever we eat. Prabhupada writes further that Lord Chaitanya, however, inaugurated the easiest performance of yajna, namely Sankirtan yajna, which can be performed by anyone in the world who accepts the principles of Krishna consciousness. Again, Prabhupada writes that demigods are authorized supplying agents on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Therefore, they must be satisfied by the performance of prescribed yajnas. In the Vedas, there are different kinds of yajnas prescribed for different kind of demigods, but all are ultimately offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For one who cannot understand what Personality of Godhead is, sacrifice to the demigod is recommended. According to different qualities, material qualities of the persons concerned, different type of yajnas are recommended in the Vedas. Worship of different demigod is also on the same basis, namely according to the different qualities. For example, the meat eaters are recommended to worship the goddess of Kali, the ghastly form of material nature, and therefore the sacrifice of animal is recommended. But for those who are in the mode of goodness, the transcendental worship of Vishnu is recommended. Ultimately, all yajnas are meant for gradual promotion to the transcendental position. For ordinary men, at least 5 yajnas known as Panchamaha are necessary. 13th verse, Yajna Shishta Asina Santoho. Asina Santo Muchante Sarvakil Bishai Bhujante Te Tvagam Papam Bhujante Tve Bhujante Tva Agham Papam Ye Pachantyatma Karanat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. Tva agham papa ye pachantyatma karanat. Wow. Krishna is becoming actually very bold and very, very categorical in his statement. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat sin only. They eat sin. Whatever they are eating is sinful, and therefore they are punished by the. And if they don't offer, then they become thief also. And the thief and the sin, what a combination! What a combination! And how such people can live happily? How a thief who is a sinful thief can ever be happy? So no surprise that the society is miserable today, because they are nothing but a bunch of thieves and sinful people. So Prabhupada actually writes this statement in the subsequent this particular verse, purport to this verse. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kind of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Let's understand what Prabhupada is trying to say here. The devotees of the Supreme Lord or the person's Santa. Santa is the Prabhupada translates Santa as a lovers of God. They are in love with Krishna. And if you're in love with someone, you want that person, you want to share everything that you have with that person. It's as simple as that. If you're in love, you're 24 by hour thinking about that person. When you, all of those who have experienced love, they can easily relate. A mother can think of a child 24 by 7. Um, Especially the young mothers, after maternity leave, when they resume office, uh, they are they are constantly meditating on their child all the time. They might be doing work, but in the background they will be thinking of their child all the time. The young boys and girls who fall in love, they can imagine this, the how they always thought of and remembered their beloved all the time, 24 by 7. Without phone also, they see their face all the time in front of them. So this Santa are the devotees who are in love with Krishna, and therefore they don't want to do anything other than Krishna. Other than, so even if it is food, uh, eating food is essential for everyone. So it is always, so eating is also spiritualized. Eating the food, that process is also spiritualized. If people like to eat delicious food, nicely cooked food, well, yes, that's great. Then you cook nice sattvic food with sattvic ingredients and offer it to Krishna and eat it as prasad. So that is possible. Then then eating nice food stuff is also problem. No problem with that. So so the devotees of the Supreme Lord, or the persons who are in Krishna consciousness, are called santas, and they are always in love with the Lord, as it is described in Brahma Samhita 5.38. Premanjana acharita bhakti vilochanena santah sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Their eyes are endowed with love, prema for the Lord. And Hriday is also filled with love for their beloved Lord. So these are the santas. Prabhupada described these are santas. Santa means a person who is in love with God. The santas being always in compact with compact of love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, the giver of all pleasures, or Mukunda, the giver of liberation, or Krishna, the all attractive person. So the three definitions, three names and three definitions. Govinda, the giver of all pleasures, Mukunda, the giver of liberation, and Krishna, the all attractive person. Cannot accept anything without first offering it to the Supreme Person. Therefore, such devotees always perform yagyas in different modes of devotional service, such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, etc. And these performances of yagyas keep them always aloof from all kind of contamination of sinful association in the material world. Others who prepare food for self or sense gratification are not only thieves but also eaters of all kind of sins. How can a person be happy if he is both a thief and sinful? It is not possible. Therefore, in order for people to become happy in all respects, they must be taught to perform the easy process of Sankirtan Yajna in full Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there can be no peace or happiness in the world. Okay, so this is the purport. These are the purports, couple of purports, a couple of verses, and couple of purports that we went through. Uh, the theme is basically Prabhupada Krishna is insisting that everything should be offered, done as a sacrifice to Vishnu. Offer all your actions to Vishnu. Offer your study to Vishnu. Offer your work to Vishnu. Offer your family to Vishnu. Offer your home to Vishnu. Offer your yatra to Vishnu. So everything can be spiritualized, and food being the biggest part of our life, food certainly can be spiritualized. And this is the easiest way in which we can spiritualize our food, for which, we work hard so that we can get nice food. We work hard, so that we want to eat nice food. At the end of tiring day, we want a big meal, meal not just to survive, meal as per our taste buds, as per our likings, uh, as per the seasonal demands. So there is much more to the food than just survival. um, it's not that simple. So how do we analyze this further? Prabhupada has given, Krishna has spoken that everything should be done as a sacrifice to me, including your food. Offer your food to me, and then it will become sin free. Otherwise, everything is sin. Everything has its sin. It could be smaller and greater in quantity and quality, but none of but everything is sinful. And if you take and don't even offer it to the demigods, then you are becoming like a thief. And Prabhupada, as we heard, that a society of thieves and sinful people can never become happy. So let us do something different. we will we've taken extracts from a couple of books of Srila Prabhupada. One is Science of Self-Realization, chapter 4, where Prabhupada is in conversation with Father Emmanuel. Now, why we are trying to divert from Bhagavad Gita is basically we will try to discuss some of the questions around this concept of food, and some of the questions like, uh, why not eat meat? Why meat eating is banned? What about Christianity? They are also religious people, but they are allowed to eat meat, why we are not allowed? So on and so forth. And there could be many such questions that could be in our mind, or we have heard from people. And through the discussions, through the paragraphs that we will discuss now, we will try to take a look at some of those questions, and we can have your own questions towards the end of the session, and we can conclude by around 1 o'clock. I'll share the screen once again. We are reading um, from chapter 4 of book by Srila Prabhupada, The Science of Self-Realization. Prabhupada writes, this is a conversation Prabhupada is having with Father Emmanuel, and these are the excerpts from the conversation. So Prabhupada is right. They're talking, and the conversation got recorded, and later on it got transcribed or typed out as and published as a book. One of the chapter in this book is this. The Not the whole book is this, but one of the chapter is this, wherein this conversation appears. And there are many other beautiful chapters which establishes the authenticity of Krishna consciousness in this particular book called Science of Self-Realization. Everyone can purchase this wonderful book and go through it, understand from the scientific point of view, how to understand Krishna consciousness from scientific viewpoint. So this is a conversation. So I'll read, and we will have questions coming from this conversation. So all of you can pay attention and take down some important points if you wish to, so that you all can answer towards the end. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, good. So if the Christians want to love God, they must stop killing animals. Father Emmanuel, but isn't isn't the most important point, Srila Prabhupada? If you miss one point, there is a mistake in your calculation. Regardless of what you add or subtract after that, the mistake is already in the calculation, and everything that follows will also be faulty. We cannot simply accept that part of the scripture we like and reject what we don't like and still expect to get the result. Prabhupada is giving a simple mathematical formula. So in the maths, earlier times used to follow certain steps. And if you make a mistake in the initial stage, the even if the subsequent stages are right, steps are right, your end answer will be wrong, because the ingredient, the input level only there is a mistake. So the answer cannot be right. When the input is wrong, the output will be wrong, even if the rest of the process seems to be correctly followed. So Prabhupada is saying that is whatever you add and subtract after that. Once the make a mistake in the calculation, regardless of what you add and subtract after that, the mistake is already in the calculation, and everything that will follow will also be faulty. And then he's saying, relating it with the scripture, that in scripture there can be a part which I am comfortable with, and there may be a part which I'm not comfortable with. I cannot accept something which I like and reject the rest of the thing, and then still hope to get the same result. And he gives example. For example, a hen lay egg with its back part and eats with its beak. A farmer may consider the front part of the hen is very expensive because I have to feed it. Better to cut it off. But if the head is missing, there will be no eggs anymore because the body is dead. Similarly, if we reject the difficult part of the scriptures and obey that part we like, such interpretation will not help us. We have to accept all the injunctions of the scriptures as they are given, not only those that suits us. If you do not follow the first order, thou shalt not kill, then where is the question of love of God? Visitors. Christians take this commandment to be applicable to human beings, not to animals. Srila Prabhupada. That would mean that Christ was not intelligent enough to use the right word murder. There is killing and there is murder. Murder refers to human beings. Do you think Jesus was not intelligent enough to use the right word murder? Instead of word killing, killing means any kind of killing, and especially animal killing. If Jesus had to mean simply the killing of humans, he would have used the word murder. Father Emmanuel. But in the Old Testament, the commandment, thou shalt not kill, does refer to murder. And when Jesus said, thou shalt not kill, he extended this commandment to mean that a human being should only refrain from killing another human being, but should also treat him with love. He never spoke about man's relationship with other living entities, but only about his relationship with the other human beings. When he said, thou shalt not kill, he also meant in the mental and emotional sense that you should not insult anyone or hurt him, treat him badly, and so on. Srila Prabhupada. We are not concerned with this or that testament, but only with the words used in the commandments. If you want to interpret these words, that is something else. We understand the direct meaning. Thou shalt not kill means Christians should not kill. You may put forth interpretations in order to continue the present way of action, but we understand very clearly that there is no need for interpretations. Interpretation is necessary if things are not clear. But when there is meaning, but here the meaning is clear. Thou shalt not kill is a clear instruction. Why should we interpret it? Father Emmanuel, isn't the eating of plants also killing? Srila Prabhupada. The Vaishnava philosophy teaches that we should not even kill plants unnecessarily. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.26, Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam me bhaktya, yo me bhaktya prayaschati. यो मे भक्ता प्रयश्यति एतद तद अहम भक्तिर उपाहर्तम अश्नामि प्रयश्चात्माम प्रयत प्रयतात्मनः अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः. If someone offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or a little water, I will accept it. We offer Krishna only the kind of food he demands, and then we eat the remnants. If offering vegetarian food to Krishna were sinful, then it would be Krishna's sin, not ours. But God is apapa viddha. Sinful reactions are not applicable to him. He is like the sun, which is so powerful that it can purify even urine, something impossible for us to do. Krishna is also like a king who may order a murderer to be hanged, but who himself is beyond punishment because he is very powerful. Eating food first offered to the Lord is also something like a soldier's killing during wartime. In a war, when a commander orders a man to attack, the obedient soldier who kills the enemy will get a medal. But if the same soldier kills someone on his own, he will be punished. Similarly, we eat only prasada, the remnants of food offered to Krishna. We did not commit any sin. So, three examples. Example of sun has potency so powerful, can even purify a urine. Gutter water, you can urine water, so it can purify everything. So second is so powerful, like a king who can, if there is a murderer, he can order him to be hanged till death. He can give death to other person without getting any reactions. Why? Because he is in the powerful position. And thirdly, he's saying that eating food is like first offered to Krishna is like a soldier's killing during a wartime, and where he gets a medal. But if the same soldier kills at home, he will be punished. Similarly, when Krishna Prabhupada says that when we eat only prasada, the remnants of food offered to Krishna, we do not commit any sin. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 3.13. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kind of sins because they eat food first offered for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. Father Emmanuel, Krishna cannot give permission to eat animals. Srila Prabhupada, yes, in the animal kingdom, but in the civilized human being, the religious human being is not meant to kill and eat animals. If you stop killing animals and chant the holy name Christ, everything will be perfect. I have not come to teach you, but only to request you to please chant the name of God. The Bible also demands this of you. So let's kindly cooperate and chant. And if you have a prejudice against chanting the name of Krishna, then chant Christos or Krista. There is no difference. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. God has millions and millions of names, and because there is no difference between God's name and God Himself, each of these names has some same potency as God. Therefore, even if you accept designations like Hindu, Christian, and Muhammadan, if you simply chant the name of God found in your own scriptures, you will attain the spiritual platform. Human life is meant for self realization, to learn how to love God. That is the actual duty of man. Whatever you discharge this duty, whether you discharge this duty as a Hindu or as a Christian or as a Muhammadan, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. But discharge it. This is another book, another conversation, another beautiful book which everyone should possess is called Perfect Question, Perfect Answer. Very small book, probably get it for 20 rupees. And the previous book, you may get it for 60 rupees, 70 rupees, 80 rupees. Um, they are worth investment, just like Bhagavad Gita is worth investment. These small books are like, I like, I like uh, small atomic bombs. They provide various conversations in which Prabhupada has spoken with so much clarity that if we know the issues become clear beyond illusion. And so that's then we can become asamshayaha, and without doubt we can practice bhakti. All these small books are like these small atomic bombs. We must buy them, we must read them regularly, and we must, we must quote them whenever we converse with people. Because if you're not handy with these, if you go through this previous chapter 4 paragraphs, we met a Christian during our book distribution in Navi Mumbai, and we use basis this we when we counter argued, he was very argumentative about Bhagavad Gita, and eventually when we spoke from this, then he was pacified. He said yes, that is the ultimate goal. Somehow or anyhow, I should be able to develop love for God. And if I'm achieving it, I'm able to achieve it using Christianity principles to be followed, my life will be successful. And then he was kind of pacified. But otherwise, it can be very, if you don't know what to speak, things can become very messy in the middle. So this is another book, small book, maybe 25 rupees book, extremely valuable book. Perfect question. A lot of people have become devotees after reading this book, or they've become convinced that this is right path for me after reading these two books: the Perfect Question, Perfect Answer, and Science of Self Realization. So in this book, Bob is a student who is come to Mayapur, staying in Mayapur with Prabhupada, trying to spend few days, and his conversations with Prabhupada are recorded. So Bob is asking question, Prabhupada is giving responses, and this happens over a few days, and all of those were recorded and published as a book called Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. So Bob is asking question. He's obviously he's got a foreign body, American body, so he's having trouble dealing with the water that he was getting in India, and he was diarrhea and dysentery. He was suffering heavily from that. He was to not uh, eat anything or becomes very thin. We used to often fall sick. And all of foreigners who came in 70s, they went through this process um, and then they struggle very hard in India. They used to love the food, but the water is to really get them down, and so on and so forth. So Bob is asking a question that in the town I live in, I take boiled water because some of the water has disease in it. Now, why should I drink boiled water if I have been good enough not to get disease? Then I may drink any water. And if I have not been acting properly, then I shall get sick anyway, disease anyway. Srila Prabhupada. So long as you are in the material world, you cannot neglect physical laws. Suppose you go to a jungle and there is a tiger. It is known that it will attack you. So why should you voluntarily go and be attacked? It is not that a devotee should take unnecessary physical risk. He should think, now that I have become a devotee, I challenge everything. No, no, that is foolishness. The devotee is advised to accept the necessities of life without attachment. He will take boiled water if boiled water is not available. Does it mean he will not drink water? If it is not available, he will drink ordinary water. We take Krishna Prasadam, but while touring, we sometimes have to take some food in hotel. Because one is a devotee, should he think I will not take any food from the hotel and I shall starve? If I starve, then I will be weak and will not be able to preach. So that should not be the mood. Does Bob ask a question? Does he keep his individual likes and dislikes also? Srila Prabhupada, yes, he keeps everything in full, but he gives preference to Krishna. Suppose I like something, but Krishna says, no, you cannot use it, then I shall not use it. I give it up for Krishna's sake. Positively, Krishna says, I like these things. So we have to offer to Krishna what he likes, and then we take prasadam. Krishna likes Radharani. Therefore, all the gopis are trying to push Radharani to Krishna. Krishna like this gopi. All right, push her forward him. That is Krishna consciousness. To satisfy the senses of Krishna, not to satisfy my senses. That is bhakti. That is called prema. love for Krishna. Ah, Krishna like this. I must give him this. Bob. Some prasadam I like and some I find not at all my liking. Srila Prabhupada. You should not do that. The perfection is that whatever is offered to Krishna, you should accept. That is perfection. You cannot say, I like this, I don't like this. So long as you must, you make such discrimination, that means you have not appreciated what prasadam is. No disliking, no liking. Whatever Krishna likes, that's all right. A devotee. But suppose someone prepares something for Krishna but does not make it so nicely. Srila Prabhupada, no, if made sincerely with devotion, then Krishna will like it. Just like Vidura. Vidura was feeding Krishna bananas, but he was so absorbed, Vidurani basically, wife of Vidura, but she was so absorbed in thought that she was throwing away the real bananas and giving Krishna the skin, and Krishna was eating. Her laugh. Krishna knew that he was giving him the skin in devotion, and Krishna can eat anything provided there is devotion. It doesn't matter whatever it is, materially tasty or not. Similarly, a devotee also takes Krishna Prasadam, whether it is tasty or not. We should accept everything. Bob, I still do not understand so much about prasadam. Srila Prabhupada, prasadam is always prasadam, but because we are not elevated sufficiently, therefore we do not like some prasadam. Bob, I find that some prasadam is too spicy and hurts my stomach. Srila Prabhupada. Well, that is also due to not appreciating, but the cook should have some consideration. Krishna must be offered first class food. So if the cook offers something last class, he is not performing his duty. But Krishna can accept anything if it is offered by a devotee. And a devotee can accept any prasadam if it is spicy, even if it is spicy. Hiranyakashipu gave his son poison, and after offering it to Krishna, the son drank it as nectar and remained unharmed. So these are the some of the couple of paragraphs that we heard. Again, there's a beautiful story. Should I, if I'm starved, I will become weak, then I will not be able to preach. In this connection, we hear a story from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati that how how eager he was to preach. And once he heard that one of his brahmachari, a sannyasi, was supposed to go and give a preaching program. But he couldn't go. Why? Because he was fasting Nirjala on Ekadashi. And then he became very angry. He said, feed him with halwa puri if need be, break his fast, but ask him to go and preach. He should not avoid service, preaching service, in the name of performance of Nirjala Ekadashi. If Nirjala Ekadashi is becoming a problem in service, break the Ekadashi. Break the Ekadashi, break that Nirjala fast, eat whatever you can, and go and perform service. If so, so his mood is was completely different, and what we can hear here is Prabhupada also had the same mood, that if I become weak, how will I preach? So I've there's no need for unnecessarily performance of unnecessarily penances and austerities when they are not required, and especially at the cost of hampering our service if it has a potential of we not being able to serve nicely, that Prabhupada and or his even his God, or his spiritual master or Prabhupada disciples also, they don't compromise on that. So again, these paragraphs help us answer a lot of questions. So let's take some questions again, revisit some of the questions. Why should we offer food at all? Basically, we should offer food because we get everything what we need food for survival. And Krishna has included. So the first picture is Govinda, Govinda restaurant. We have in Juhu. They offer a thali. The first picture is that of Govinda Thali in Juhu, and the second picture is that of a similar buffet lunch dinner that you get in Govinda's in Los Angeles Temple. Both are very delicious, very nice. So whoever gets chance to visit ISKCON Temple wherever, this prasadam is what they should try out definitely without fail. They should go take the darshan of the deity, participate in Sankirtan, hear classes, meet devotees, talk to devotees, express gratitude, offer some donation, and take prasad. You should not end their tour visit to a temple by without taking prasad. So this is the prasadam. So why should we offer food at all? Now, Prabhat, we heard in some of the sections that how we are completely dependent on Krishna for getting food for our survival. Not only just food, for light, for water, for air, and everything that we get from Krishna help us survive in this world. So living happily and liberation, achieving liberation. Now, living happily part definitely is fully dependent on Krishna's mercy. So we, on our own, we cannot even manufacture one grain of rice. So what to speak of? What to speak of? There's no question of us surviving without without accepting Krishna Kripa. So when we are so much dependent on Krishna, when we get so much mercy from Krishna, why not offer it to Krishna? Why not offer it? Offer it before accepting it. Offer it that this has come from you. Please accept it and purify it. Purify it. So this is offering. We should offer, and when we offer, he feels happy. He does not expect his maintenance is not survival is not dependent on our offering or neither that of his demigods. But he feels nice. If he feels nice, he's instructing it. It make us humble. It make us express our. It help us express our gratitude towards Krishna, and that does not allow us to become arrogant. We don't feel entitled for food in this world. We don't feel we deserve to eat in this world. But we see this as mercy. The prasad literally means mercy. And mercy, when somebody gets mercy, that dainya bhav, that gratitude, attitude of gratitude overflow from heart. And that makes you a nice devotee. A devotee should have that attitude of gratitude, humble humility. It should be your heart should be humble, and offering prasad, becoming thanking Krishna for providing prasad, uh, can make us humble, and can help us remain humble all throughout our life. So if we do this simple activity, that when we thank Krishna, we offer the whole plate to Krishna. Please accept it, and really from the bottom of our heart, we thank Krishna for giving us putting food in our plate. That is how we express our gratitude to Krishna, and that makes us humble. It satisfies Krishna. It does not. Krishna feels that he is not a thief. He is not stealing my the facility which I'm giving and just using it for sense gratification. He is not sinful because when we offer, Krishna will remove sin from that from the food, and therefore it becomes sinful. So the even vegetarian food otherwise can be sinful. The degree of sin can be different, but if it is not offered to Krishna, it can be sinful. What to offer? Sattvic ingredients, food cooked with love, and with sattvic ingredients should be offered. The best prasadam is where food is in the agriculture is also done by devotees. The land is the whole farming is done by devotees. The crop is grown by devotees. Crop is cut by devotees. Crop is the grains are removed, the grains are grinded, and the whole process is done by devotees. That is the best first class prasad, is where everything end to end, the entire supply chain is handled by the devotees only. However, that is not possible, but at least we should purchase ingredients, nice, sattvic, fresh ingredients. We should purchase the best quality, whatever we can afford, we should offer it to Krishna. And then what is Krishna accepting is devotion. And he accepts devotion and he returns mercy. He gives his mercy back in return. So he accepts devotion. He is searching for devotion. So, but from our side, we should using best quality sattvic ingredients, whatever we can afford. We should cook nice bhoga. The food which is not offered to Krishna is called bhoga or Nevidyam. And that we should offer by offering mantras. Mantras, like we'll cover this how to offer. We offer prayer to our own spiritual master. Um, if you are not initiated, we offer prayer to to Srila Prabhupada. We offer prayer to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we offer to Lord Krishna. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha Jagad Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. When we offer this prayer, then we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times, and that is how we close. And we offer it with, of course, tulsi leaves, and that's how we complete the offering by ringing the bell continuously at the time of chanting of these mantras. So, so what to offer and how to offer? Why should we not eat meat or food with onion and garlic? So the whole simple purpose is sattvic ingredients will not include onion, garlic, and what will definitely not include meat and eggs. So these are we heard Prabhupada explain this with the help of the example. We'll have some other questions also, so you can answer that time. But this is very clear what to eat, what not to eat. When prasad is so purifying, why don't those who take prasad regularly get fully purified? So prasadam is one of the limbs, very important one, but not the only one. When we should also there's a whole program of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Pada Sevanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So there are many other limbs of bhakti they need to be also performed. So by just eating prasad definitely with devotion is definitely purifying. But if it will help if you chant along with eating prasad, it will help if you read Bhagavad Gita along with eating prasad. It will help if you hear Bhagavad Gita classes regularly along with the prasad. If you help, it will help if you serve, if you render some nice services along with this eating prasad. So that will collectively help you progress faster on the path of devotional service. Then how to offer we discuss. If offering to demigod is same as offering to Krishna, since it is he's the ultimate enjoyer, is that the same? Uh, that is not the same. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that if you are attracted to a particular demigod deity, then Krishna makes your faith stronger in that deity so that you can follow the rules and regulation prescribed by that deity. Which means, even though Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer, but if you are devoted to a particular demigod, he does not intervene. He at least he allows you to remain in the service of that demigod. So in the ninth chapter, another beautiful verse where Krishna says, "Those who are demigod worshippers goes to the planet of demigods. Those who are worshippers of bhutas and ghosts, they go to their pitru. Pitru, those who are worshippers of Pitru, they go to Pitru Loka, and my worshippers come to me." So there is clearly different path, different results. That even if Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer of all the penances and austerities and sacrifices, in this case he does not interfere in the in your faithful service rendered to a particular demigod. The fruit that you get actually comes from Krishna, but your service is not reaching Krishna because Krishna does not want it. So Krishna calls this kind of a seva as a service performed avidhi purvakam. in the later chapter, seventh or ninth chapter, there's a verse where Krishna explains that this is called a worship in a avidhi. Avidhi means proper vidhi and avidhi. Avidhi is not properly worship. This is not a proper way of worship to Krishna. So he does not accept it. So it's not doesn't give the same benefit as Krishna Prasad. If the food is offered to a demigod, it cannot again be offered to Krishna. So, but Krishna, anything offered to Krishna can be offered to demigod, because for demigods also Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. So for them, they can relish prasad. They can also relish prasad and feel happy about it. That's not a problem. But the other way around is not problem. Anything first offered to demigod cannot be offered to Krishna, because demigods are his servants. Couple of questions for all of you. Feel free to raise hand. One example of hen was given by Srila Prabhupada while discussing with Father Emmanuel. Can somebody remember why it was given and what was the point Prabhupada was making? One example of hen given by Prabhupada in our conversation of with Father Emmanuel, chapter 4, where Prabhupada gave that we spoke about that hen. Anybody remember what was that? Yes, Sandra.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I think it referred to Prabhupada ji was saying that you cannot be selective in choosing from the religious scriptures what you think is right and what you are comfortable with, you will accept and do, and what you are not comfortable with or you don't like, you will not do. So that was the message he was trying to indicate by saying that just because you're not able to feed the chickens or hen, you cut off the head, but you are waiting for the egg to be delivered.
Yeah, very nicely explained, Monica. Thank you so much. So yeah, that was the point that scriptures, one should accept scriptural instructions in its completeness. You cannot accept something which you like, and you cannot reject something which you don't like or find it uncomfortable. It's like feeding mouth. Hen has mouth and a back portion. It's grains from mouth, so has to be fed. So it's very costly. So let me cut off the mouth and keep the back portion of the hen, so that I'll keep getting eggs. Not going to happen. So you can't expect the same benefit if you are picking and if you pick and choose instructions, you will not get the same proper benefit. So you need to follow the scriptures in its entirety. Very nicely explained, Anurag. Thank you so much. The second question is, thou shall not kill. Prabhupada, yes, Srila Prabhupada counters this argument with an argument of interpretation. What was Father Emmanuel saying and how Prabhupada countered that argument? Anybody remember?
Actually, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
May I speak?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, Srila Prabhupada, sir, actually, he said that even Christians should not kill animal, because otherwise the word murder would have been used if it was meant only for the human being. So if it is said one should not kill, means not killing other animals also, not only the human beings. That was the purport, and that was the point of view from Srila Prabhupada, sir.
Thank you so much, Roji. Yes, Prabhupada says that was Jesus not intelligent enough? If he wanted to say, if he wanted to say murder, so the murder, this has been changed. The scriptures of the Christian Bible has been changed to include the word murder. They replace word killing by murder. And that's in that context this was spoken, this conversation had took place, that because they wanted to continue killing animals for the purpose of feeding their tummy, they felt that if it remains killed, people may raise questions to us in future. So might as well change the scripture to make it murder. Then it becomes very specific to humans. So you should not murder and you should act with respect and love and all that. But then that gave them a license to kill animals. And that with that context, Prabhupada was saying that if you think Jesus was not intelligent enough to use proper word murder, when he meant murder, he would have used the word murder, but because he wanted it to be killing, it's all about killing, he used the correct word killing. So when there is clarity in scripture, there is no need for further interpretation. Sometimes we interpret to make scripture suitable for our preference. Now that is not how we should condition ourselves to we should change ourselves in order to be aligned with the scriptures, not change scripture to become aligned with me. That's precisely what had happened, and because of and Prabhupada was pointing out that point. So that was the thing. Then another example Srila Prabhupada gave referred to son, king, and soldier. And anybody remembers what was that example? Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I just wanted to add to that, then I'll say this. Even in for the Muslims in Quran, it is said that cow's milk can be taken, but it's otherwise beef and all that should not be taken. So that is also amended just to suit the whatever we want to do. And similarly, in other this thing also, like in Christianity, when they were discussing, they were telling the animals don't have the soul, but only human beings have the soul. So this is all actually bent to suit to the human intellect cleverly, just to do whatever we want to do. And with regard to this, like soldier, like I've been a soldier also. I was in naval aviation. So if I am doing my duty, even if I am killing the other side person, like my opponent, I'll be awarded. And but at the same time, if I do some harm to my fellow soldier or fellow sailor or somebody, then I will be punished for that. So that's my understanding. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Anything you remember for son and king? Three examples Prabhupada gave. Somebody else? Maheshwar Prabhu? Okay. So son, so Prabhupada basically gave examples basically to show the power of Krishna and how Krishna can do whatever he wants to do. He can remove sin because he's so powerful. So sun can purify even urine water, gutter water. So like Surya, Krishna is like sun. He is so powerful. He can purify everything and anything. So that whatever vegetarian food you can offer, even if it is sinful, Krishna can remove sin out of it because he is so powerful. King can order killing of a person and does not get punished because he is above the law of the land. So similarly, Krishna is like a king and a soldier. That soldier kills with authority. So the killing has to happen with authority, even if when the so without authority, when you kill, obviously you are punished. You are punished by the laws of nature. So again, that's how you should not. Why should not be killing? Prabhupada explains the killing of the plants also in the yes. Prabhuji, you want to say something, Subhash Prabhu?
Uh, Prabhuji Dandut Pranam, I just wanted to add on similar lines like Tulsi Baba has written, समर्थ कहूँ नहीं दोष गुसाई रवि पावक सुरसर की नाई. जैसे सुरसरी गंगा जी and अग्निदेव and सन, तो
Surya.
इनको कोई दोष नहीं होता है बिकॉज ये अपनी प्रकृति के हिसाब से काम करते हैं, तो दूसरों को प्यूरिफाई भी करते हैं. जैसे हमारा भी लास्ट में जो संस्कार अग्नि में ये सब होते हैं, तो उनको कोई दोष नहीं होता है, क्योंकि जैसे ही सुरसरी गंगा लास्ट में अगर उनमें वट एवर राइट्स करके एंड हम उसमें जो प्रवाह भी करते हैं तो वो पवित्र हो जाता है. तो इट वाज ऑन द सिमिलर लाइन, आई जस्ट वांटेड टू ऐड. हरे
Yeah.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very, very nice. And all the three are actually manifestation of Krishna's potency. Ganga ji is Charana Dhoi. चरण, जो चरणों के, भगवान के चरणों चरण धोए थे, उनसे चरणों से जो पानी जो निकला है, दैट इज कमिंग एज गंगा, एंड बिकॉज इट टच द feet of that supreme lord, it got its potency for purification, unlimited purification. That's how Ganga ji is. Surya is considered to be eye of sun, or eye of Lord. So one of the eyes is Surya, and by it is said, Brahma Samhita, it says that by order, to fulfill the order of Supreme Lord, I rise. So Surya Dev is saying. So Surya Dev is also extremely powerful, and Agni is the nearest manifestation of Lord. Agni is Krishna himself, and he's the easiest and the most accessible form of Lord that is available to all of us. So all three are connected. They are potent because they are connected with Krishna. That's how we understand. So how Srila Prabhupada, the next question we can discuss is how Srila Prabhupada explains killing of plants when Father Emmanuel says that the plants also have life. Now what about them? You kill them, eat them. So how did Prabhupada explains this? Anybody would like to share? Anybody else now? Yes, Vishwanath.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada reply on this that Prabhupada ji quoted one once, Pataram Pusham Phalam Toyam Yogam Prachiti. So if you offer this Pataram Pusham Phalam Toyam, so Krishna already described the menu. Not he mentioned that he want meat and all the things. So he want only Pataram Pusham Phalam Toyam. Okay, so that's it. So we offer that vegetarian food to Krishna without onion garlic. So Krishna remove that sin. So that's why that vegetarian is not sinful.
Yeah.
Plant killing is not sinful.
Yes. Prabhupada writes that, Prabhupada says that unnecessary killing of plant is also not encouraged. And plants do have life, and we should not eat plant, we should not even eat vegetarian food only for our own satisfaction. We should offer it to Krishna. Unless that offering happens, offering is a process where the removal of sin happens. And so Krishna sees devotion and returns mercy. And that's how the food becomes prasad. Now it's a subtle process. If you keep the plate and if you remove the plate, before and after, there is no change. Just like in Diwali times, we used to go from home to home, and we used to, while going to other people's home, we carry a plate and with some food ingredients, sweets that we prepared. We go to the other people's home, we offer them food, and if they are civilized, nice people, they will also return. So a plate, from the external point of view, a plate goes inside and a plate comes back, comes outside. But what has happened inside is the loving exchange has happened. They have accepted our food and they have given their foodstuffs to us. So there is a loving exchange that has happened. So that is not visible from the outside. Similarly, when we offer food, a plate to Krishna, and what we get back is predominantly could be the same, but the nature has changed, because Krishna can perform any action by any of his limbs. He, by seeing, he can eat, and by glancing simply, he can consume everything. And except he what he accepting is predominantly the devotion. And that devotion, when he accept by glancing over the foodstuff that what we have offered, and then that becomes prasad, that becomes sin-free food. That's how the food becomes sin-free. And even if plants contain lower consciousness, the souls of lower consciousness, they will it will be sinful also if we cut plants and eat. But generally the food and the grains, those are the products of the plant. So there, you can actually need not be even kill the plant completely to eat. So vegetarian food also can have some degree of sin in it, but that is removed when we offer it to Krishna. So that is what the Prabhupada explains to Father Emmanuel. Eating in hotel, we already discussed this point. The anything that is hampering the service should not be acceptable. Should not be acceptable. Our devotional service should not get hampered by any way. Should not get interrupted by any way. So if it means eating, or if it means not being able to do Nirjala Ekadashi, so be it. eat fast food and perform Ekadashi. Even if Prabhupada or Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur even advised his disciple who went to foreign land that if you are not getting vegetarian food, eat meat, but continue preaching there. So they were so bold and they were so clear in their consciousness that that you have to the performance of devotional service is that of paramount importance, and everything else can be changed. So if you are not able to get food outside, you don't have to starve. You eat whatever you go to a vegetarian, clean vegetarian place, take food without onion garlic in your mind, offer it to Krishna and eat. Worst, if you have to eat onion garlic food, not getting without onion garlic also, then at least reduce the sin by praying to Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra to reduce the element of sin, reduce that impact of the sin. That food cannot be accepted by Krishna, cannot be offered to Krishna, but at least by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you will reduce the impact of that sinful reactions at least. So by that, we can work around not the best instructions, but obviously the if the best is grown, the farming is done by devotee, cultivation is done by devotee, cooked by devotee, offered by devotee, and taken accepted by devotee as per some. Everything that is the best case scenario. And if that is not possible, whatever next best possible we should do. But at least we should have this learning that what prasad is, what mercy is, and why the principle of offering is all about. To summarize, we will and then we'll go to the question answer if any. we must eat we must eat to survive and are fully dependent on Krishna and his agent for supplies. Krishna eats. He likes to eat when offered with love and devotion. When we offer to Krishna food cooked with sattvic ingredients, cooked with love and offered with devotion, he accepts it. When he accepts it, which he can do simply by seeing, he can perform any action by any sense and any organs, it becomes sin free. Else, even vegetarian food can also have some sin in it. By eating prasadam, which literally means mercy, we get material and spiritual nourishment. Using this, we will be able to live happily and perform Shravanam, Kirtanam, Sevanam with full dedication and attain our ultimate goal of life of liberation. We'll pause here. It's 1 o'clock almost. We'll see if there are any. So these are the opportunities for us to perform Shravanam Kirtanam. Now we'll see if there are any questions on this topic.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Namaste.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, onion garlic क्यों मतलब ये rejected है Prabhuji?
Onion garlic, Mataji, is not considered sattvic ingredients. They are tamasic and rajasic ingredients. And by eating those, you will experience agitation of mind, which will prevent you from performing devotional service in a nice sattvic mode. So a devotee wants to come to sattva guna, and therefore he is rejecting or avoiding activities which are done in the lower gunas, rajo and tamo gunas. And by continue to eat food with onion garlic, they will continue to be in the lower modes, and then he cannot come to a higher mode. And unless he come to a higher mode, his bhakti doesn't begin. The devotional service does not start. So this one sacrifice you will need to do in order to come to at least to the level of sattva guna. Also, it's sinful. It's considered to be very sinful ingredients. So these are used when meat is cooked, especially to kill the smell of the meat, to make it more tastier. Overall, it's harmful also for the body. But predominant reason is that of a rajasic and tamasic nature of the padartha that they are.
प्रभुजी अगर बिगिनर्स अगर ऑफर करना चालू करे तो कैसे मतलब भी स्टार्टिंग में ये होता है ना, तो सिर्फ हम लोग राइस या दाल, ओनली राइस ऑफर कर सकते हैं, ओनली राइस
हाँ, घी
स्टार्टिंग में
राइस
थोड़ा बहुत।
with sugar you can offer. Uh, but whatever is cooked, you should offer something. Even if it's not everything cannot be offered, but at least make something, make some dal nicely. At least for dal rice you can make for Krishna. Roti you can offer, dal roti, ghai rice, whatever is possible, you should be able to offer every day. And then as you progress, you are able to give up those other ingredients. Then you can offer full meal to Krishna. Okay.
यस प्रभु जी, थैंक यू मैम, हरे कृष्ण।
Hare
हाँ
Krishna.
प्रभु, और एक क्वेश्चन है प्रभु जी। जैसे अभी कुछ लोग मतलब डेमिगॉड्स को ऑनियन ऑनियन वाला भी वो लोग मतलब ये जो ऑनियन ऑनियन गार्लिक है सिर्फ कृष्णा के लिए रिजेक्टेबल है, या फिर डेमिगॉड्स भी उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते?
Demigods भी सात्विक demigods नहीं करेंगे. So like Ganesh ji ko bhi, there's no, except for I think Kali, where the meat is offered. Generally, even devatas also, they are all servants of God. There are sattvic devatas, tamasic devatas, and rajasic devatas. And tamasic devatas, sometimes we see those ghastly forms there where the meat is offered. It's not an instruction to offer meat. It is, the instruction is, if at all you cannot control your propensity to eat meat, at least offer once a month to this devta, not to anyone. So, and that form, the looking at that form, you will not feel very auspicious. That ghastly form of a Devi who is killing a demon, just having killed a demon in a very angry mood. In that form, if that becomes your worshipable form, uh, then you can offer her meat. It's more not because she wants to eat meat, because you want to eat meat, and nobody else will accept it. So might as well offer to her and eat at least once a month. But people took this instruction as a permission. Then they started killing, and without offering also now they are eating. They're killing on all 31 days, 30 days of the month, and they forgotten the process of offering at all to her also. Therefore, everyone is suffering in the material world. So the basic change we need to do is to change consciousness that we consume by eating food, by eating right kind of food. And unless that happens, we will not be able to progress further on the spiritual path. Hmm? Okay.
ओके प्रभु,
Thank you.
थैंक यू प्रभु, हरे
Thank you,
कृष्ण,
Babaji.
धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
Yes, Subhash Prabhuji, Swapnil Prabhuji, Sadhu Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare
जैसे मैंने छोटे में सीखा था, जैसा अन्न वैसा तन, जैसा तन वैसा मन, जैसा मन वैसा जीवन। So that's why food is also very important. एंड मैं दूसरा ये पूछना चाहता था, कभी कभी क्या होता है, जैसे दिस गार्लिक है फॉर वेरिकोज veins and all that, if it is taken as a medicine, because sometimes like Ayurvedic doctors prescribe, if you take it for even for the older people, then the varicose veins and other things can be controlled. So I think that emotion and that intention is also important. If it is taking sometimes when it is prescribed as a medicine, I think that may be acceptable. I just wanted your view. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So, Prabhuji, if it is not most of the garlic that is consumed is not as a in a form of a medicine, but as a taste enhancer. So, yes, it can be. It's a individual condition based on the individual condition. Not will it, what will happen it will, if it is consumed as a medicine, but if you continue to perform all your devotional service properly, uh, if it is absolutely necessary, you may consider taking it for a short while, but generally it should not be the case. You can find alternate medicine also, so you can double check with the doctor and see what best can be done. Yes, thank you so much, Roji. Swapnil Roji.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी, when we talk about sin, is sin subjective? Because the example of soldier, for example, you said when a soldier kills another soldier in a battle, he's been given medal. But the same soldier on the other side is considered as an enemy because he has killed their soldiers. So, who in this whole scenario, who is sinful? because it subjective, and on the one side it is considered as pious, on the other side it is considered as sinful. So my question is sin subjective or it is absolute, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Yeah. Basically, it's based on it's basic is the fundamental is authority. The authority, what authority you are acting under. So when a king is ordering murder, hanging of a murderer, is he acting on his own accord or is he acting out of authority, some authority given to him? So if he, as long as he's acting under authority, it's considered he's not subjected to any reactions. What other, while the other side, you may say that this is from say India-Pakistan war happens and Indian soldier kill Pakistani soldier. And from the Pakistani soldiers' point of view, it will be sinful, but Indian soldiers' point of view, it will be not sinful, and vice versa. The same goes for their soldiers also. So as long as you act under authority, you're free from the reactions. The moment you act on your own accord, then you are subjected to reactions. So even if Pakistani soldier tomorrow kill his neighbor, um, otherwise, he will be subjected to punishment. So he may not be a Indian, and he also could be an Indian neighbor. He may have an Indian neighbor, and he go and kill him. Even he will be subjected to punishment there because he was not killing Indians soldier in a war. It's a different situation. So so that is how we need to. The question is right question is: am I acting under authority or am I acting on my own accord? And there, if the answer is I'm acting under authority, then I'll become free from reaction. The moment I act on my own, I will become subjected to uh, the rules and regulation, the punishment, if that is the that will become applicable to me.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So, in that case, moral policing, what people do, is a sinful act, then, Prabhuji.
But
Hare
again,
Krishna.
moral policing, what authority do they have authority? That's the question is. So, do I have authority to determine anything? If I happen to be the president of India, king of India, or prime minister of India, then it is all within my authority. As long as I'm acting within my authority, moral policing, as a moral policing, can an Indian prime minister write or give an order to a citizen of some other country? Citizen of Ireland should not eat meat. Can Indian president or Indian prime minister give such kind of an order? They may not. So because they don't have authority over the residents of Ireland or England. So as long as you are acting within your authority, um, be it moral, moral policing does not make much sense. It could be done something in best interest, but you need real authority to act. A father in the home has authority over the people at home generally. You know, the karta we say they have authority, so they can decide what should happen in my home. So they are not acting out of authority, but they cannot decide what should happen in somebody else's home. So as long as we are acting within authority, our action should be acceptable.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Sadhu Prabhuji, Sadhu Bhushan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Mine actually, I need some clarifications that the demigods, whether they are bhakt of Krishna, demigods are bhakt of Krishna or not?
Sorry, what is the question? Demigods are?
Demigods are bhakt, devotees of Krishna.
Are demigods devotees of
Yeah,
Krishna?
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, Prabhuji. They are also empowered devotees of Krishna, but
So,
they are also in the Aishwarya mood. So not in a very loving mood. It was said that when Parikshit Maharaj was preparing to hear Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami, all the demigods came there. they said, you are worried about that snake, right? I will give you Amrut. So even if that snake bites, nothing will happen to you. But you allow us to listen to Bhagavad Katha because our purification is not happening in this body where I have so much authority, I have so much power, I have so much control, I have so much opulence, so much opportunity for opulence. My heart is not getting purified, and I am not able to read Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is not accessible in Swargaloka. There's so much enjoyment available. So we want to come and sit here and hear Bhagavatam from you. And Sukadev Goswami doesn't agree. He said, no, you will not get access to Bhagavatam. And they said, so that is the condition. They are all because of so much opulence that exists in the Devata Loka. At times they struggle to perform devotional service. They are not they are in the they want to serve Krishna. They are engaged in this service of Krishna, but uh, it is dukkhalaya ashashvatam, but the dukkha that they experience is very 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 low, very very low, very very minor, and hence their moods are different. But that's the reason why they are all. It is always said that they are always eager to take accept bodies and take birth on this bhuloka, where the misery can be actually experienced and the desire to go back to Krishna can be cultivated properly. But where the miseries are missing to a greater degree, the desire to go back to Krishna does not become very prominent in their heart. So that is their problem.
So they are not devotees. That
They are
means
devotees, but they are engaged in service, but they are not devotees in with humility and gratitude and Trunadapi Sunichena type devotees nahi hote hain. What we expect devotees to be Trunadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Manina Manadena, Kirtanya Sadahari, they are not able to come to that stage. But because of their opulent position, because of their powerful position that they possess in the universal affairs, and because of the opulence and the enjoyment that they get in their own respective lokas, this position can be attained very easily on the in the bhuloka, this material world. That's why it is said that they are always eager to come to material world.
demigods, they have a lot of opulence by virtue of what? Means whether in the some of their life they might have been the
Correct. Yes, Guruji.
devotees of
Yes, Guruji. You can perform sukruti, you can collect material opulence, and you can perform sacrifices and opulence, austerities in the material world, and you can get elevated uh, to the Svargaloka and enjoy opulences over there. But kshine punya marta loka vishanti. That becomes kshina, and then you will come back eventually to the martya loka. So that is the position of the demigods.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Ambili Mataji, I have a question.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी,
प्रभु जी
दंडवत प्रणाम।
Yes, Mataji. Okay. So, Mili Mataji, is there a question you have? Or
यस प्रभु जी।
yes, Mataji, you can go ahead.
प्रभु जी, आउट ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी, प्रभु जी, it is, I mean, Krishna has told that, I mean, it is written in Bhagavad Gita, धर्म के स्थापना के लिए डू युद्ध करो, धर्म की स्थापना के लिए युद्ध करो, और धर्म सर्वोपरि। तो प्रभु जी, इट केम इन माय माइंड कि ये मुस्लिम्स रैडिकल्स जो होते हैं वो अपने धर्म की स्थापना के लिए ये जो मास किलिंग करते हैं, इज दिस जस्टिफाइड?
So, dharma ke sthapana, again, it has to be done with authority. And the philosophy is basically to the the war becomes necessary. There is no war basically, and they are launching war on the humanity because other people are not accepting their way of worship. Both Christianity and Islam, the problem exists is that they are not inclusive religions. They're exclusive religions. Exclusive religions implies that you say that this is the only right correct religion, everything else is wrong. When I get this mentality, then one of the purpose that are given to them, that is given to their by their interpretation, again it's an interpretation problem, not a scriptural instruction, that if everybody else is doing wrong worship, um, you help them, you either bring them to the right way of worship or destroy their monuments of wrong worship. And one of the big problem that Christianity, Islam both have is deity worship. Now, both don't accept deities. So, what Islamic rulers did when they attacked India, they destroyed temples. One of the reason for that to be done is to you are worshipping a false god. So you should worship real God. And real God is what is described in Islam. What is given, what real way of worship is what is given in Islam. So I am saving you. So there, one of their mood was that I should save you. Basically, you are doing something wrong, and by doing this, you will never be able to go back to Allah. So we are saving you by protecting you by destroying your places of worship of wrong God. So while they were thinking they are doing right things, but again it was a interpretation issue. If a God can be everywhere, and God, why God cannot appear himself in a form, in a deity? If God can create humans, why he cannot have his own form? So this is the Islam, as well as the scriptures given in Islam as well as in Christianity. They are not wrong, but they are incomplete in the sense that they give very limited information of God. And
Hmm.
because subsequently the Bhagavad Gita itself gives an elaborate description of that God, so they know that God is a creator. Krishna says that aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate, that everything gets emanated from me. So Krishna tells everybody that he is that creator. He is that creator. In Purushottam Yoga, 15th chapter, he says that Yomam evam asam mudho janati Purushottamo. That everybody who knows that Uttama Purusha from whom this whole creation has happened is me. Sa sarva vid bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. They will start worshipping me with all their heart. So what the little reference of God that was given in Quran and Bible, here in Bhagavad Gita, we see elaborate information about God, about the same person who has done the creation, who is the maintaining everything, who is the father of all living entity, who is the one who controls the whole universe, and who is the one who is in charge of law of karma. All describers are used in these two scriptures, and full information is given in Bhagavad Gita. So that is what makes Bhagavad Gita a far more advanced scripture than others. And but if you with small understanding, wrong understanding, people draw wrong conclusions, and that is how they started thinking that if those who don't accept their religion, they all need to be destroyed. Hitler was famous for this, right? Jews, he said they are anyway going to go to hell. So let me help them let me take them to their destination faster. So he invented those gas chambers, where he stuffed people, and just by releasing poisonous gas, he killed so many of them, millions of them, I think. people were killed in this brutal way. So he not only uh, he not only believed that they are going to go to hell, but he said it is my duty to help them go there faster. So absolutely not right. So people may think that they're doing right things, but from correct perspective, they can be completely wrong, and that is the position of Muslim radical people. And Prabhupada writes this in his purport in the third chapter, third verse, where he says, if you don't have right philosophy, all your actions can be performed at a sentimental level, can become sentimental actions, or worse, they can become fanaticism. You can become fanatic
Hmm.
because there's no basis of your thinking. There's no questioning that you have done to your people, and therefore, if the resultant actions are either sentimental or fanatic, so both are not beneficial. So everything should be done basis philosophy, basis scripture, and correct scriptural understanding. Okay.
The conclusion is, Prabhuji, they just read the line "Dharm ki sthapana karo," but beyond that, how they did not know.
Dharma ki sthapana is also not given in their this thing. They consider their dharma to be the only correct dharma and all other dharmas to be wrong dharmas. So let me go and
Yes,
destroy
Prabhuji.
all wrong dharmas. Now this is a
Yes.
conclusion. This is a self-drawn conclusion. Just because thou
Hmm.
shall not kill लिखा है तो मुझे तो मीट खाना है, तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, मर्डर कर देता हूँ उसको, एंड देन आई विल कंक्लूड कि ये ह्यूमंस बीइंग्स के लिए था. एंड वैसे
Hmm.
जीसस क्राइस्ट मेंट कि ये ह्यूमंस बीइंग्स के लिए लिखा था. तो आई एम जस्ट क्लैरिफाइंग व्हाट जीसस हैड सेड. What Jesus couldn't clarify, I'm clarifying, and then I'm continue to open slaughterhouses for killing animals and eating them. So I continue doing my way of things by adjusting scriptures to my likings. So it's a very dangerous way of working. This is wrong way of working, in fact. So so that's how things are, unfortunately.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll conclude today's session. Thank you everyone for staying back, and we'll continue. So next, we'll make announcement next Saturday weekend. In fact, we have sessions taken to be taken by His Grace Krishnananda Prabhuji. He will be speaking on Gaur Lila Friday evening, Saturday whole day, and Sunday morning. So there will be sessions, and so Gaur Leela, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas, he will be speaking, and will be telecasted everywhere on the Zoom as well as there. So we'll all be going to Bhiwandi. We hope to be able to go to Bhiwandi next weekend entire, and attend those in person. So those who are staying in Thane, Kalyan, Navi Mumbai area, if they want, they can also come and attend in person these sessions of Krishnananda Prabhuji. One of the best speaker we have in ISKCON today. Wonderful, wonderful speaker, very great command over. He has got two addictions. One is Harinam. He's addicted to Harinam. He speak about Harinam, Japa, how to improve Japa, how to chant Japa, and he himself chant extremely wonderful Japa. Second is Gauranga Mahaprabhu's Leela, Gaur Leela. So he will, the moment he starts speaking, he speaks about Gauranga Mahaprabhu all the time. So, so so that's what his two specialities. So we'll expect to get this gift from him over next 1.5 days, over next weekend. So everyone is will please contact me if you wish to attend some of these sessions. And I'll recommend, highly recommended. Attending his session is very recommended. So please make arrangement for that. We also announced a couple of yatras yesterday, and we'll share more details about those in days to come. But there will be a yatra in month of May to Mayapur. The dates and everything else will publish. And in the month of somewhere in between, we have Pandharpur Yatra for 3 days, and last we'll have a Kartik Yatra in November. So please look up for the dates for these yatras as and when they get published. Please make arrangements, get clarifications, make arrangements, booking, so that you all can participate in these yatras and relish Krishna consciousness to the fullest. So we'll conclude with this. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki Jai, Shri
Jai.
ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Bol, Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Dhanyavad.
Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Hare
Udupi
Krishna.
Yatra is not happening in Feb.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Udupi Yatra is not happening
No,
in
there's no
Feb.
yatra in February because of, I
Okay,
think it's a lot of exams are there in this around this period, so there won't be any.
okay,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
मायापुर यात्रा
Okay.
डेट्स फिक्स्ड हो गया?
हाँ माता जी, मायापुर यात्रा का डेट है, I can tell you the dates also.
19th May to 23rd May, Prabhuji, hopefully. As Prabhuji
19
did.
to
16th May to 23rd May.
16 to 23rd. 16 to
23rd.
looks like it. 16 to 23rd May, this Mayapur. Third 3-day yatra in August for Pandharpur, and 12 to 21st is Vrindavan.
ओके प्रभुजी, हरे कृष्ण।
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanyavad pranam. Deepest
Thank you so
gratitude.
much.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna.